Dave Weiss here with the amokarts.com video blog of the day. I had a dream last night, and in my dream I was in a writing class. Now, I wasn't a participant in the writing class. I was just sort of there for some reason, and my son was actually a participant in it. And I'm not sure what that has to do with anything, except one of the students raised his hand and said that he was having a hard time finding the story that he wanted to write. He was having a hard time figuring out what to write about, and I was there, and I was sort of a little nervous because I knew I wasn't really a participant. I knew my son was in the class, so that would mean, I'd probably embarrass him, but I felt like I had to speak up and say something. And the thing that I said in the dream was something that I think in real life as well, and it was this: you need to write about the thing that you're passionate about. You need to write the story that you feel must be told. There's a story in each of us, I believe, that must be told, and finding that is a big part of finding our creativity in general. And as I woke from the dream, I started to think about what's that story for me. And, as a preacher, of course, you would say that it's the story of Jesus, and that's a part of it. And I would look at art and say, well, art is really my passion, but it's kind of not. Art is the tool. Art is the tool that I use for the story that I'm really passionate about. Now, again, I am really passionate about the story of Jesus, but you know what I'm extremely passionate about? I'm extremely passionate about your story. I want to help you tell your story. I want to help you find the tools to tell the story that's in you. And I think that's what my whole passion about Be the Body is all about. It's this idea that each of us has a purpose. Each of us has something we were created by God to do. That is really the story of God in your life. It's a big part of it anyway. Is there's something God created you to do. There's part of God's plan that He created you to be. And I feel like His plan for me is, at least in part, to help other people to find their story and bring it out. I always look back to one of the big things that changed my life. It was right after I came to Christ. I probably shared this story before, but I'm going to share it again just briefly. I got plugged in at the church, and the first thing they did after I joined the church was they gave me a ministry. They gave me something to do, something to serve God and the church, and that was a very good thing to do. But the thing that they gave me to do was not the right thing. They made me a trustee. Well, I'm really bad at fixing things and building things and things like that. I do art. That's pretty much what I do. That's my main skill. And I was floundering. I would show up and I would do what I could do, and sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes you just have to do something because it needs to be done, whether or not it's your passion, your gift, whatever. Sometimes you just need to show up and fill in the spaces. But what really turned my life around, besides coming to Jesus, which is the big thing, was the day that my pastor came to me and asked me if I would paint the backdrop for Vacation Bible School. Now that sounds like a small thing, and it was, except for this. It was something that I could do to serve the Lord. And when I saw that my gift was useful in serving the Lord, it was the first step in a lot of steps that have brought me to the ministry that I'm in today. I used to be terrified to speak in public. Now I love to speak in public. But it all came out of painting a backdrop, believe it or not, because painting the backdrop led to being asked to do a part in one of these Vacation Bible School skits. Which led me to, and it was a part where I could act a little stupid, a little weird, and people were supposed to laugh at me. So, since that was always the big stumbling block, you're worried about what people thought, I could do that. And from there, that led to other parts and other skits, that led to teaching, that led to youth ministry, that led to so many other things. But it all started out when one person found my gift and showed me a way that I could use it for the kingdom. The question I have for you today is, what is your story? What's the story that you feel must be told? And it doesn't have to be a physical story. You don't have to sit down and try to write a book. But there's a story of your life that needs to be told. There's a thing in your life that needs to be done. Do it. Just start today. Just start with whatever you have. Don't worry about what you don't have. Start with what you do have and use that and use it to God's glory. Now today is my birthday. I'm 48 years old, which means it's the third time I've turned 16. That's how I'm looking at it, because otherwise it's too close to 50. But the thing is this. I finally found the story that I want to tell. I want to help you tell your story is the biggest thing. And I want to tell the story of Jesus. Because believe it or not, the story of Jesus is at least partly told in your story. Because the story of his faithfulness in your life is something that will be used to draw others to him. It's taken me a while to find that and figure that out. But I feel like unless God changes it, I'm going to spend the rest of my life trying to do that. So if you don't know what your story is, the first thing I want you to do is pray. Second thing I want you to do is look at what you're passionate about. Look at what excites you. Look at what gets you out of bed in the morning. And if you can't find it, I want you to contact me. And I'll try to help you. I'll try to talk you through it. Because guys, it's so important that we become what God created us to be. Again, that's what Be the Body is all about, this new thing that I'm working on. It's not really new. I think it's my life's mission. And if I can be of help in any way, especially if you want me to come into your church and try and help you and other people find your gift, I'd love to do that. But that's not the most important thing to me. The most important thing to me is that you find what God created you to be and you do it for all you're worth. Because as you do that, you're going to find two things. You're going to find the meaning of your life, and you're also going to find the way that you can be used to share the gospel. May God bless you as you tell the story of your passion. God bless.